Hey y'all, I hope this message finds you well. I am well by the grace of God. Wanted to come and unpack this thought that I was just going down a trail ride with. And it's the idea that we can be very arrogant when it comes to presenting ourselves before God. I know some people, we don't like to necessarily lay down certain parts of who we think we are because we feel like maybe we've worked to be this person. Maybe we've sacrificed a lot to be this person. We've grown up and had to struggle through a lot of trials and tribulations to become this person. And then whenever God brings us to a new crossroads and into new territory, it's like we just shut down and we're like, no, I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna do that. I'll do this over here for you, but I won't do that. And of course, some of us don't say that to God, like, I'm not gonna do that. But it's an internal struggle for us to accept who God is revealing us to be. Because we're living this thing out. He already knows what we're supposed to be, but we can be very arrogant in presenting ourselves. We don't necessarily present ourselves as living sacrifices. We're like, hey, this is the ideal that I've come up with, so Lord, please accept it because my intentions are good. And yeah, it's kind of time out for that. Like, it's kind of time out for us saying, well, take me as I am, God, right? Take me as I've created myself to be. Like, it's kind of like you're a vacuum, right? And imagine a vacuum telling the creator or the manufacturer, like, no, I'm no longer a vacuum. I'm sorry. I've struggled to be a tree, and I think I look like a tree. I may not have all the green things, but I've decided that I'm going to be a tree now. And the manufacturer's like, you weren't created to be a tree. Like, I love that for you. I love that you have identified with being a tree, and trees are great, and I love that, but that's not what I created you to be. Now, vacuums are an inanimate object. They don't have personality, they don't have souls and all the things. So they don't have a say so in their functions or who they are, what they've been created to do. But we have choices that we have to make, and I want us to be a little bit more aware of how we're presenting ourselves to God whenever He calls us to do something different, or maybe He's shifting us in a different realm, in a different area. I want us to be a little bit more open to whatever He reveals and not be so arrogant and set in our ways to the point where we're like, God will take me as I am. Like, and of course, like, He knows, and this is not to say like He doesn't know you, or, He won't accept you, or whatever, or you have to be perfect, or whatever the enemy tries to whisper to combat this message. It's not to say that I want you to just hear me clearly. The God of the universe, the creator, He knows what your functions are. He knows who you are. He knows who you're supposed to be. He knows what this world has introduced you to and who this world has morphed you into. And for a time, He will process those things, out of you, or He can use those things. However, when it comes to being totally submitted to Him and His will, we have to be willing to lay down some things and say, you know what, I don't understand it yet, but I'm going to trust you, God, because you're my creator. I'm not just going to be lazy about it and say, take me as I am. I'm going to do the work to become who you're showing me that I am. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do the conference. I'm going to submit and do and build the church or plant the church. I'm going to move to the different city. Yeah. It's uncomfortable, but I think we should just be we should be a little bit more aware of how we're presenting ourselves to God whenever he brings us to new territory and to new places. And I'm thinking about a specific group of people or with a certain mindset that come to Christ, and that, we're like, and I say we because I've done it. Like, I am not exempt. We come to Christ and we're like, well, God, this is all I have. And I love that. I love that you're willing to give what you have. Also give him what you don't know you have, right? Like, give him that other stuff too, because some of the stuff we can't decipher what the world gave us and what God gave us, right? Sometimes it's hard to decide. Decipher. It's hard to separate what came from God, what was a part of us, or part of the being that God knew before he formed us in our mother's wombs, and then what we were born into, and shapen with and into, and all the things, and the environment that we were reared in, what rubbed off on us. It's hard to decipher, and so that's why we don't need to just give him what we know we have, but also give him what we don't know we have. Even the stuff that we don't have language for, the personality traits, the desires that we have, the perspectives that we have, the filters that we walk through life, how we view life through. Like, we need to give him that stuff too. And I mean, Tiana, what does that look like? All right, I hear you, but also, how am I supposed to give him something that I don't even know I have? Like, that's actively submitting yourself before him, and honestly being intentional about making time and space for him to show you what's of him and what's of the world and what's of you and all of the things, right? Like, show me, reveal unto me these things, and also give me the wisdom to know how to deal with this, or to lay this aside, because God, I can't do it in my own strength. So Father, give me the wisdom, God, and not just the wisdom, but the grace and the mercy as I travel along this road to being a living epistle and presenting myself as living sacrifices. Like, we don't always present ourselves either. We kind of go through life and that's it, but we don't necessarily, hey God, this is all of me. I know you knew me before I even knew myself, before my parents knew me. So God, I need your help being that person. Whoever that being is, I need your help to become that. So anything else that I may have picked up during this life that will not give you glory, that will hinder your glory coming forth or being revealed in this realm, in my life, or to the people that I connect with, anything that will hinder or distract or impede your glory, I need you to reveal it. Either take it away or reveal it so I can know how to lay it down, and so I can lay it at your feet. Part of that presenting ourselves is also presenting our awareness, presenting what we think we see, our perspectives, how we see things, what we see, but how we see them, and allowing God to do what he wants to do with that. Yeah. And also, I feel this coming up as well, like as far as speaking about wisdom and how sometimes we allow the wisdom that we got in the past season to trump the revelation and the wisdom that we're yet gaining. God is yet revealing new things about us, about our circumstances, about where we're going, what we're doing, about what's happening in the earthly realm, about what we're supposed to speak out and do according to heaven's according to what heaven is doing, excuse me, or what's happening in the heavens. Listen, we have to not be hanging on. That's horrible. The wording of that is horrible, but let's not hold on to expired instructions, or trying to recreate circumstances based on past revelations, because he's a living God. So yeah, maybe present that old wisdom, not even old wisdom, because I don't know that wisdom has an age, but that old revelation, and see what God wants to do with that. If that's something that he wants, maybe because he's a living God, and so he's able to pivot and shift you according to what's happening. And it may not make sense. It may not make sense to you, because it's like, oh wait, you didn't do this last time. The circumstances were different last time. Or the circumstances seem different this time. And so what do I do with that, God? Like, this is brand new, you know? So just presenting that too before him and seeing what he wants to do, presenting your desires before him and allowing him to, you know, reveal maybe where the desire came from, reveal what to do with that desire. Do I starve it? Do I feed it? What do I do with that? Do I move towards that desire? Is this a healthy desire? Is this a godly desire? So yeah, I'm unpacking, guys. But I love you guys so much. I hope you got something out of this. I'm about to get out. I turned the car off, and I'm hot and I'm sweating. I had to do all the things. I love y'all so much. Until next time.